talk a little bit about Supergirl. So this character had a new show that just ended not too long ago. This show, overall, I think my feelings on it are mixed. Mostly good, but still mixed. My first thoughts about this show were that it was going to be just another Smallville, that it was just this dorky Devil Wears Prada approach to Supergirl. We're working in this office with this woman who is just your monster boss.
It's not that I don't see your frown, it's just that I don't care enough to ask why it's there.
I wasn't crazy about the actress they got playing Supergirl, and just overall the show is just kind of meh. Once the second episode of Supergirl comes around though, it gets a lot better. It kind of starts to find its footing. It is mostly Monster of the Week, but there is an ongoing story. Characters don't just die at the end of every episode. You know, they might get imprisoned and then they might escape later on. We might see them more. It takes a lot of characters from the Superman mythology and does their own thing with them. Predominantly seems to use female villains. I don't know, part of the whole girl power tone of this whole thing, trying to get girls into comic books, which, sure, I'm all for it. Why not?
Can you believe it? A female hero. Nice for my daughter to have someone like that to look up to.
So you get, you know, your Silver Banshee, you get Livewire, you get characters like that. For the most part, they work. I actually really like this take on Livewire. I like it even more than the animated series Livewire, which she was fine in the animated series. I just didn't think she was that great. Here, actually, she's one of my favorite villains they've had. I think the actress they got for her is really good. I think the look is really good. The stuff she does is really cool. There is more of an ongoing story. Some parts of it are good, some parts of it aren't so good. Supergirl's adoptive sister is working for this group that tracks alien life on Earth. And the head of that group, this guy Hank Henshaw, realized very early on that this guy might not be all that he seems. And some of you who've read the comics and know who Hank Henshaw is from the comics, you might think you know what's going on, but you don't. They do something really cool with this character. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's pretty awesome. I remember sitting there when they finally reveal what the deal is with this character, just thinking, no way, no way, no way, yes! It was pretty cool. That character does, especially later on, once his true nature is revealed, he adds a lot to the series. The other ongoing thing is her struggles with some Kryptonians, which is cool, and it's something that Supergirl has that Superman doesn't, is that Supergirl remembers what Krypton was like. So you see flashbacks to Krypton, and that's pretty interesting stuff. And then there's some Kryptonians from her past that may have survived and may not want the best for Earth. So there's that conflict going on. That one, I realized they kind of needed to have it, kind of needed to have that struggle with her and against her past. It's all symbolic, and these are people she knows, and blah 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 blah. I just didn't really give it that much of a shit. I never really cared for Kryptonians in the films. I didn't really even like Zod, either version of him. But this is the story arc that they need to have for the first season, and I'm hoping in the next season they can bring on something cooler. And I do hope that there is a next season, because for the most part, I really do like this show. Part of that, I think, is really the whole cast, and they all really grew on me overall.
You look like the attractive yet non-threatening, racially diverse cast of a CW show.
Melissa Benoist, however the hell you pronounce her name, as Supergirl. At first I was like, yeah, whatever, but she really grew on me really quickly. She's just ridiculously likable, and she's quirky and fun, but she's got a good heart, and she's got strength to her. I want to hang out with this girl. Hank Henshaw is great. Her sister is mostly good. At the very least, with her and her sister, I definitely bought their chemistry. All the characters, actually, I really bought the chemistry with them. I believe these people as friends. Anyway, though, moving on. This guy, Wynn, who's totally crushing on her, works at the same place that she does. He's great. I really liked him. He has a bit of a history with a certain character from Superman lore. That was cool. Won't spoil it, though. But it did make for one of the best episodes in the series. Her boss, Cat Grant, at first I was just like, yeah, this woman is just straight up Devil Wears Prada, but she gets some depth to her, and I actually ended up liking her. She kind of has this exterior of just a raging bitch, but you get to see a lot more of her over time, and she's interesting. One character I do have a problem with is...
Oh my God, you're Jimmy Olsen, the photographer from the Daily Planet.
James Olsen.
No. No. No, 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 no. 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 That is not Jimmy Olsen. If they want to make Jimmy Olsen black, that's fine, whatever. I don't have an issue with that. In fact, I was thinking about it, do I have an issue with that? But no, immediately I could think of half a dozen other black actors who could totally play Jimmy Olsen. Donald Glover comes to the top of the list on that one. I could totally see him as a black Jimmy Olsen. Why the hell not? The problem with this Jimmy Olsen is he's just too damn suave and charming and tall and good looking. Just, it's not Jimmy Olsen. I've seen some people make the argument that this Jimmy Olsen is just, he's an evolved Jimmy Olsen. He's learned from his time with Superman. He's kind of coming to be more of his own. But that's not it. His character has completely changed. This is a completely different person. I don't believe that this guy was ever anything like the Jimmy Olsen as we know him. The weird thing is, I thought about if you could have Wynn's character and Jimmy Olsen's character, if you just switched those actors, would it have worked? And yeah, it would have. It would have worked just fine. You would have had your sexy guy for her to swoon over. Oh yeah, that's another thing. She does kind of have a crush on Jimmy Olsen. There's that love triangle thing there. Whatever. So you could have had that, and you could have kept Jimmy Olsen as he was. Because when his character traits and who he is to her and all this stuff like that is very Jimmy Olsen-ish. They just give him a different name, and it's pointless and stupid, and that's one of the main detractors for this show for me. Some other Melissa something or another. She's likable as Supergirl, but she doesn't really do the fight scenes that well. It feels very choreographed. It feels like she's never actually been in a fight in her entire life. She gets a little better as the series goes on, but I just never bought her as a fighter. I could buy her as a badass, I just never bought her as a fighter. They do fuck with some of the Superman lore, creating some inconsistencies, like she can't fly in space. They give a good enough reason for it, but come on. Superman flies in space. Supergirl should fly in space. And yeah, like a lot of these things, it does kind of try to hit that teen market, especially the teen girl market, and I'm just like, you do it, don't you start doing what Smallville did, don't you go into that Laguna Beach territory. And they kind of sneak up there, but they pull it back just enough where I'm mostly willing to forgive it. Mostly. Overall, yeah, the show really did grow on me. It has problems. Definitely it has problems. But as a whole, it's pretty enjoyable. And one of the biggest things it really has is that it's charming, and it's campy, and it has a sense of hope. It reminds me a lot of the tone of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, which I love those movies. Watching that first Superman movie as a little kid, I remember it blowing my mind, and just that's really what kind of sparked my love of superheroes. This isn't your Zack Snyder vision of these characters. This is very much a lighthearted version of these characters. And that's pretty refreshing to see. So yeah, I think it's worth checking out, and you should check it out, and you should support it getting a second season, because I think it's finally found its footing, and I think a second season could be pretty good.
Isn't that your cue?
Do not watch Homeland until I get back.
There's no promises.